the things that I remember and quite vividly about Rhodesia, unfortunately for me, they're all nice things. We lived in town, which was so clean. We lived in you could go to a local clinic which would compare and beat a full referral hospital like Paris today, out in the townships, right?
In Zengeza,
everything, there was order. Okay, there was order, refuse collection, water, clean water, everything, right?
Lights that didn't
or lights which didn't go. Everything was really quite good. Football, sports.
Milk at your doorstep.
Milk. Yeah. So it's like.
So as black people, you'd have access to all that.
Yeah, milk at our doorstep.
The only thing that was there in Rhodesia was the sort of racial segregation that was there. Obviously, because that one would have had my parents and the elder siblings who would have sort of like, bore the brunt of that. But growing up, in that
as a child,
into my teens, everything was really what we can only dream of now. We can't wish that the whites were not here. They were here. And they did build this country. So it's a fact. The first part as black people is to accept where we're coming from and who did what in our journey to where we are now. Was there anything good that they did for us? Yes, there was. This. Accept it, right? And actually don't be shy to speak it up on the top of the roof to say, oh yeah, they were bad people about this, but they did good things. So they can be an ex-Rhodey, call them an ex-Rhodey, who are in England, in Australia and whatever. They are looking into Zimbabwe now with heavy hearts. So when they say what they are saying, I can see the hurt because nobody is speaking anything good about what their people did anymore. So they can only do it themselves. You understand? So now, we as the majority now, because we've taken our country back, it's like we are changing the street names from what they were, English names. What we're trying to do is to rub off our shadow, as if we can never do it. We are trying to say, let's try and forget that there were people like this. That's our folly. We can't do that. They were here. It's part of our history. Write it for people to know. Are you with me? You have got your own history. Start to build new streets and name them after those people, so that our history is a wholesome. When you try, when you try to suppress, the work that was done even by your erstwhile enemies, you are distorting history.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So you watch those two clips I put on. I had this video for a couple of weeks now. I found it on a popular YouTube channel that I'm not going to name because they have now taken down that video, and I don't know why. So to protect the people who made the video and the people in the video, I have decided to cover their faces and just so we can just hear their voice. Okay, the first time I watched that video, I was fuming. I mean, believe me, I think it was like a 25-minute video or something, and he said a lot more things like that, and I was fuming. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I couldn't believe it was a black man like me. Black people like this, our black brothers like this, if I can even call him our brother. These are the type of men that during slavery, they used to be very close to the master. They used to snitch on other black men who were like maybe planning of escaping, who were plotting something against the master or something. Those were the people that will take it and go and snitch to the master, and so the master can like beat them and put them into prison and stuff like that, or even kill them. These are the type of this type of people are very, very, very dangerous to Africa, to our continent, to the country he comes from. From the video, you see this man is from Zimbabwe, and the country he's talking is Zimbabwe, and before it was named Zimbabwe, it used to be called Rhodesia when it was still under the authority of the colonizers, okay? But now it's called Zimbabwe. So for him to say all these things, that Rhodesia, during that time, he was happy, things were great, the street were clean, they used to have milk at the doorstep. That one took me off. I was like, Nini, Pazo pesa yo milk. Also say pela. They give you milk, you're happy. Nini. So I was like, if you miss the colonizer for this type of reason, and then on top of that, after saying all those graces, like, oh yeah, but like the only thing that was not so good was the segregation and all that. So all these things, and then he said you acknowledge about the segregation and the mistreatment of Zimbabwean and the black people in Zimbabwe and by the colonizer, but yet you're saying that everything was great. So in other words, what he's saying is like he will love the colonizer to remain in control in Zimbabwe as long as they remove the segregation and the mistreatment of Zimbabwe. Let me tell you, if I could just tell him that, dream on. That will never happen. I don't know, for some reason, these people don't know how to make things fair. Yeah? They always, it's either everything for them, nothing for others, or nobody has nothing. So, if that's what you think, that by having them back, things are going to be, they're going to say, oh, we'll treat you better, we'll be equal, and blah, 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 blah. Big lie. You'll be in shock. You'll be in shock. They'll give you your breadcrumbs. They'll give you your milk at the doorstep. They'll even give you bread. They'll give you paracetamol. But you'll still be at the bottom, working for them, working in their farm, working in their houses, doing their gardening. And at the end, they'll give you a few dollars. You know, you can never build anything for your children, your grandchildren. So I'm sorry. Like, it's really sad. If it was built, the streets were clean. Who was cleaning those streets? Who built those streets? Who built the houses? They didn't build it themselves. They were using you guys to building for them, so they can live comfortably with their families. Okay. And then he went and said the government in Zimbabwe are changing street names to put back names of actually true fighters of Zimbabwe, freedom fighters of Zimbabwe, people that have actually contributed to the freedom of Zimbabwe and all that. And he was like, oh, it shouldn't be happening, they shouldn't change the name because that's part of Zimbabwean history. It's like they try to wipe off everything that the white man did. We need to acknowledge that they did something great. African slavery built Europe and America, but yet we don't see any African black slave name on any of their streets or their buildings. But us, they come, suppress us, beat us, segregate us, kill us. Then they put their names on our streets. And we're not allowed to remove it because it has to be a reminder of all the atrocity that they impose on us, on our ancestors. For him to think that is part of our history, we don't want that type of history. They did build the country. I'm like, they built the country. Your ancestors, your people built the country. They didn't build nothing. They used you. You were the slaves building it. It's really sad. Really sad. Sometimes I lose hope. I want to lose hope. I'm like, ugh. If we're gonna have people like me and many other Pan-Africanists like wanted to fighting for the liberation of Africa, and then you have people like this, it makes it really, really hard. I think one problem that Africa has in general is that we're not united. We don't have the same type of view. We don't agree. Some people will rather have the white man rule everything and just being given the little that enough just to live, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to eat, and they will be happy, and the white man can take everything. The colonizer can take everything. And it's really sad. As an African, I even feel embarrassed because that man is my brother. That woman in that video is my sister, because they're black, because they're African. And I see all African and black women just as my brothers and sisters. And to hear this type of comment coming from my brothers and sisters hurts. It's like, if we can acknowledge and we can come together to fight and liberate Africa, I'm wondering, is it ever gonna happen? Is it ever gonna happen? There's a part of the video that I didn't even record, that where he said that he doesn't mind who rules the country as long as he can live comfortably. Comfortably means they give him milk at the doorstep. Oh, Zambe nanga, sunga biso, papa. Anyway, tell me what you think under the comment below. I will see you next time. Bye bye.